Welcome to all. In this session, we will see the 6 major branches of artificial intelligence. So let us continue with the concept. The first one is machine learning. Okay, in terms of advanced technology, one of the most demanded fields is machine learning. It is making buzz every day whenever a new product is introduced by any company that deploys ML or machine learning techniques and algorithms for delivering the consumer in a high creative manner or highly creative manner. So ultimately ML or machine learning has gained more popularity. So it may be with respect to, not just with respect to ML, AI also. So now the cameras are powered by AI, isn't it? Dual AI powered camera, and in terms of Vivo or any brand, Samsung or Apple. So they roll out their model with respect to this AI concept, or they advertise their model along with this artificial intelligence concept or machine learning concepts. Okay, so whenever we hear about this concept or this title, we automatically get attracted to that particular product, and we will think that whether it is good for us or not, isn't it? So we will think of it, because when the machine starts predicting, when machines take some appropriate decisions, definitely we will get attracted to that, isn't it? So the best example is Google Assistant or Siri or Alexa. So all these things are, it is a combination of machine learning, neural networks, and artificial intelligence. So it has the capacity to take the appropriate decision, and it will learn how exactly you live every day, and it will record each and every data of yours, and then it starts suggesting you. So this is how this models are working. So this is how you can achieve the perfect goal by or using the machine, I can say like that. It is a non-living thing, but still it is able to take the appropriate decision, and it will give the suggestions as well. Okay, so it is like that. The machine learning is the science that enables machines to translate, execute, and investigate data for solving real world problems. So here it is a kind of a statement, isn't it? It is a standard statement, I can explain. So for the explanation, we just go for the normal thing, but for the write up, they have gone for some standard thing. So they say that machines to translate, execute, and investigate. So it should be able to translate also, it should be able to accomplish or execute also, it should be able to investigate or give the suggestion or take the appropriate decision also. So how they are going to do that? They are going to do that by taking the appropriate data. The data has to be very good, it should be clean. Okay, so data cleaning has to be done. So you cannot just give the random data and ask the model to take the appropriate decision, or to provide the correct suggestion. It is not possible. Okay, the data whatever we give during the training period will affect the model more. Okay, when you are giving the correct data or correct information to a particular thing, then it will be very good for them to access it, or it will be very good for them to take the correct steps. Okay, so that is the reason why the data plays a major role here. The ML algorithms or machine learning algorithms are created by complex mathematical skills that are coded in a machine language in order to make the complete ML or machine learning system. So mathematics plays a major role also here, because whatever the model or algorithms we go for, so it is basically based on mathematical models. Okay, so otherwise we will definitely ask how exactly machine, how you are coding something to a machine so that machine can take the appropriate decision. It is not that easy, isn't it? It is not just like if else statement. If something is like this, it has to be like that. No, it is not like that. It is not just a conditional statement. So it has to see the data, the model has to understand the data, model has to see the variations in the data. So data, that is the reason why I said while training we have to give the data which is very clean. It is not just if age is 28, give a smartphone, something like that. It is not like that. Okay, if the age is 28, whether he is a male or female, whether what is the health condition, whether he is able to see the phone or not, whether his eyesight is good or not, whether he will be able to understand the smartphone concept or not, all these things will that model will predict, or it will, based on the previous data, it will predict. It is something like that. It is not just like if the age is more than 28, just give the smartphone. Just an example, I said it is not about the 28. Now kids will be having smartphone, that is a part of story, but just an example I have given for the explanation. Okay, this is how this machine learning will work. So ultimately you have to remember that whatever the code or whatever the models we build, it will be based on the strictly it or it will be strictly based on the complex mathematical structures or mathematical skills. It will be involved in machine learning concept. Okay, ML enables individuals to execute tasks to categorize, decipher and estimate data from given data set. So machine learning will enable, so it will enable the execution task. Okay, from which part of the category the execution has to start, because there may be n number of categories, isn't it? So for example, if I ask the Google Assistant, show me the path from, say for example, Puttur to Mangalore. Okay, so there are different categories also. It will ask how exactly you are going, by walk or by motorcycle or by car or by public transport or by train, isn't it? So it will take so many, by cycle, by cycle also, that also pedaling also possible, because it will take these categories, or it will consider these categories to estimate the time which will be taken to travel from Mangalore to Puttur. Because if you are walking from Mangalore to Puttur, whether it is possible to show that within say for example 45 to 50 minutes you will reach Mangalore, not at all possible. It is not at all possible, isn't it? So machine will ask, or machine will keep the category, so that whatever the data you give to that machine, it will first analyze the data, then take the appropriate decision. So if you give that you are going by car, then definitely according to that it will calculate the path, it will calculate the traffic conditions, road conditions, and any diversions or anything. It may be anything, so it will calculate like that. If you are going by two wheeler, so it will again calculate about the possibilities. If you are going by train, again that is a part of story, again it will calculate based on that transportation. Not just transportation, the time, peak hour, and traffic conditions, or any accident concept. Now the technology has reached to some other level, so from satellite they will, if they really require, fresh data can be accessed, but that is, but we usually don't we don't get that update in Google Map and all, in Google Earth and all. I don't know how many of you used Google Earth application. It will give the exact picture of your house, your road and all, but it will take that picture will be taken a few minutes back, or few hours back, or few days back also. That also possible. So you cannot get the real time picture. It is not possible now. They did not go to that level as of now for the public people. Okay, for the normal people, but one day it will reach to that extent also. That is a possibility. Okay, now these are the some of the concept. Next, decipher and estimate the data from the given data. So deciphering means from encrypted text to normal text. Usually we say cipher and decipher, or encrypting and decrypting. So all those things, because there will be some jumbled data also, some fuzzy data. It has to be cleaned and it has to be maintained in a particular data set. So this is how this ML or machine learning will work. So this is a vast concept. Machine learning is a vast concept, but I just condensed some main points, and I just have put those points in the slide. Next, the neural network. So incorporating cognitive science and machines to perform tasks. The neural network is a branch of artificial intelligence that makes use of neurology. Okay, so it is somewhat related to our biology concepts. Okay, so here it's a it is ultimately their neural network. It is a neural network model also. Again, it's a kind of model. So based on the it is one of the part of artificial intelligence, we can say, and it will be used to take the appropriate decision at the end based on some algorithms. So this also, it's one of the branch. I'm not saying the entire thing is one. So we have a number of branches and different kind of approach to reach the artificial intelligence concept. Okay, this is a second one. Okay, so replicating the human brain, where the human brain comprises an infinite number of neurons, and to code brain neurons into system or a machine is what the neural network functions. So they are going to make the replication of our brain system. how exactly we are thinking, how exactly we are taking the decision, how exactly we are remembering, how exactly we are understanding, how exactly we are updating ourselves, how exactly we are thinking, how exactly as we have anger, grudge, love, and affection, or greedy things, or whenever sometimes we curse. So all these things, all the emotions, we will be controlling everything by our brain, all the neurons. Brain plays a major part. Okay, even though if you want to move our hand from one side to another side, or if you want to even move the fingers, brain should be very active. Okay, without brain we cannot think. Now I am talking to you, again it is because of my brain. You are listening and you are trying to understand whatever I am saying, again it is based on your brain. You are holding your phone, again brain. Because of brain you are holding the phone. You, if you have put some headphones, or if you are earphones and listening to me, again it is a brain concept, because brain has to send the signal, and it based on that signal only you will be understanding my concepts for some extent. Okay, so all these things based on the brain. So that at the same way, these developers have tried to build a model which looks like a this neuron, connectivity of neurons, and how exactly signal passes, and ultimately take the appropriate decision by taking the previous data which is stored in our brain. In the same fashion, the system also built in the concepts, that concept will be implemented in the model. Okay, the neural network and machine learning combinedly solved many complex tasks with the ease, while many of the tasks can be automated. So they say that by combining ML and NN, or neural network, so they have reached some complex things. That also possible. Some automations are already taken over many jobs, I can say this, automations. Because in almost all the big in industries and factories, if they go for automation, then where will be they don't need, even they don't need manpower. So as being a commerce people, you will know how to reduce the manpower to save more money, isn't it? So you will be having different techniques to overcome from that, and to increase the profit, and to decrease the liability, and all those things you know better than me actually. Okay, so what I am trying to say is, so based on the technology we can actually go for automation. We can reduce the complex problems, and we can go for we can actually, as a business perspective, you can decrease the money which is flown to the human beings, or employees. So we just this is one time investment, like maintenance is required, but ultimately if you once install these machines, if the machine is taking the appropriate decision and continuing with the work, definitely you don't prefer man, you don't prefer human being, isn't it? So they just go for machines itself. So this is nothing but automation. Okay, these are the some of the concept. This is the second part, and the third one is robotics. Okay, it is one of the best word, probably so this has emerged as a very sizzling field of artificial intelligence. An interesting field of research and development mainly focuses on designing and constructing robots. So robots are nothing but, it is a kind of it is also a kind of artificial intelligence, artificially intelligent machine. And even machine learning and neural networks will involve in this. But ultimately robots will look like it may be like look like human being also. They build like that, it will be having arms and legs, and it will be able to walk, and all those things we can think of. Okay, so robotics is an interdisciplinary field of science and engineering, incorporated with mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer science, and many others. So it will be the combination of everything. As our human body is a combination of so many things, and this is also a combination of so many things. So if you go for the traditional thing, we usually say our body is made up of panchabhuta, isn't it? So in the same fashion, here they go for different fields, different techniques for building one robotics. Okay, so robotics determines the designing, producing, operating, and usage of robots. So it mainly designing is one of the important tasks in robotics, because how we design, how efficiently we can design the robot, that plays a major role. Next, producing, how exactly you can produce, whether it is for mass production, or single piece, and what will be the cost for that production, whether it is useful or not, what if we invest on that, whether we get the profit or not. All these things should be taken into the consideration. Next, operating and operating and usage. So how exactly you can operate the robots, and whether it is useful, whether you require more manpower for operating itself, whether, and all these things you have to think, because we as a computer science department people, we think about coding it and we think about making the robots. You as a commerce people, you have to think whether it is efficient or not, whether it is useful or not. Using robots, can we reduce the flow of money or wastage of money? Can we increase the profit? Can we reduce the manpower? All these things you will think of it. So this is based on the discipline where we follow, based on which field we are following. That is the main thing. Okay, then how exactly you are using the robot, for what work you are using the robot, all this plays a major role. This part is important. Okay, so it deals with the computer system for their control, intelligent outcomes and information transformation. So they ultimately they say that it is for intelligent outcome also, because robots are capable of taking the appropriate decision at that time, isn't it? So you would have seen when I was a kid, there was a car, remote control car. Whenever that car used to hit the wall, automatically it will come back and it will take the other direction. So it is a small part of code, it's a very small part of code, where if the obstacle come in front of a machine, the machine has to go back a few centimeters, and it has to take some other diversion. So it is a kind of code. Okay, so these are the some of the things we have already used, but we never thought of it. But here they have gone for some subject itself. You are learning the unit, and you are remembering all those previous things. That's it. Okay, next, the robots are deployed often for conducting tasks that might be laborious of humans to perform steadily. So that also correct, because as a human being we get tired to some extent, we get frustrated, we get anger, we sometimes be lazy, we will not, sometimes we will not have the appropriate health condition to work on in the steady manner, and we require breaks, we require tea breaks, lunch break, and okay, then we require every month we need, the company has to pay the money as a salary, and all, and manpower also, and the productivity, per day productivity will not be steady. Sometimes we do more, sometimes we do less, sometimes we will be bunking the class or bunking the work, we will not go to the floor, we will not work out, we will not go for the productivity of that company. So it is not steady, it will be very varying. But when you implement machines, when you go for robots, so they are steady, they don't get tired. If you provide enough power supply, and if you provide if you maintain that robots for some yeah, months, after some months or after some weeks, it will be steadily working, and the productivity will never decrease, it will be steady productivity. So each and every concept will have plus point and minus point. So I'm not just saying that human beings are waste. No, I'm not saying like that, because our brain has created robots did not create us. So that is a bad part of story. And whatever the technology we learn, because of human beings, human brain, these things have came into existence. So some students used to say Google is everything, Google is our guru. Okay, we don't need teachers, we don't need all these things. Okay, so it is correct, one point of view it is correct, because you get all the details in Google. But how long, how far you have the information you learn, that is a separate part of story. In the previous time we also had the same thing, we had library, we used to go to a library and we used to read, and we can self study, that also possible. Now you have Google, that's it. But until and unless you apply that particular thing, whatever you learn, it is waste of the thing. The raw data or whatever the raw knowledge you have, it is waste until and unless you apply. Okay, this is what actually the actual thing. Google, I cannot say Google is guru, not possible. It will give some data to you, it will give some information to you, applying it or not, that is up to you. Okay, you cannot say that it is a guru, but it will give the information. So previously what was the condition? We manually used to go to library, we manually used to find the books, we manually go open the books, and we have to read the pages, we have to go into the books and into the pages. But now it is not like that, you just search direct, you will get the content. The accessibility has become easy, but you cannot claim that it is a guru, not possible. Okay, so this is the thing, this is the main thing, but usually students will never understand that. What if the server breaks down? What if in future, what if Google goes down? Who is going to give the information? Again, you have to start from the scratch itself. Now already corona has taught you so many things, isn't it? In 3 months in home, remaining in home, you have seen so many different kind of things. You have learned so many things. I hope it may be cooking. If you have agriculture land, then agriculture thing. If you have cattle, again it's work. And you know how to see. I personally say that I have gone for hair cutting also. Like, I have done the hair cutting of my father. Okay, so now I have become that also. So I have changed my car's tire. I have serviced my bike my own. I had some oils and all, so the lubricant oils and all those I had in my home. So I tried that. I did not go to garage. I did not go to hotel. We cannot go also. That is a separate part of story. We couldn't go. That is a separate part of story. But we tried in our home itself. That means we are capable. But because of this, we say, isn't it, aram se everything will be worked. Because of that, because of smartphone, we have gone to the separate part or separate way. Okay, sometimes technology is not that good. You have to manually work. Okay, if I start speaking, it will be a long thing. So yeah, let us move further. So expert systems, next thing. So expert systems were considered, I mean, the first successful model of AI software. So for the first time, they were designed in the history 1970s and 1980s. So under the umbrella of an AI technology, the expert systems refer to a computer system that mimics the decision making intelligence of a human expert. So ultimately this system is mainly for the taking the appropriate decision based on the some data. That again, it is always about data. Okay, the expert systems are built to deal with the complex problems via reasoning through the bodies of proficiency expressed especially in the particular of if then rules, instead of a traditional agenda or to code. So it is something, the decision making thing or control statement, we can say. If then, if some condition, then what has to do, something like that. Okay, if something has gone wrong, how to take the appropriate step, something like that. The code has to be there. All the pre-written code has to be there. Based on that code itself, it will take the appropriate decision, and some data has to be there. So this is the fourth type. And the fifth one is fuzzy logic. Okay, in the real world, sometimes we face a condition where it is difficult to recognize whether the condition is true or not. Their fuzzy logic gives a relevant flexibility for reasoning that leads to inaccuracies and uncertainties of any condition. So fuzzy logic is the branch. It is a kind of, in mathematics also, I don't know whether you have gone for it or not. In mathematics also you have this concept, fuzzy logic. Okay, the fuzzy logic is a technique that represents and modifies uncertain information by measuring the degree to which the hypothesis is correct. So ultimately what is they are trying to say? They are trying to say that if the information is uncertain, of if there any loss of data, if there any connection, if they don't have the connection, then how exactly we can rebuild the data using fuzzy logic. So that is because of measuring the degree of information. So for example, if you have 10 data where the age is ranging from 19 to 21, so only 19 20 21, 19 20 21, 21 20 90, the 19, based on that, if the data is there, if one person's data is missing, based on the degree of data or prediction, we can reconstruct the data. I am not saying that 100% it will be accurate, but at least we can reach some expectations of that thing. So we can go for adding all the data and divide by some, we can take the average, and with that average can be given as a new data to that particular system. So there are n number of techniques actually. Degree of data, when we say reconstruction of data or missing data to be recovered, then we have n number of techniques. Okay, so fuzzy logic also one of them. Okay, next, fuzzy logic is also used for reasoning about natural uncertain concepts. That also correct. So it is simply the generalization of the standard logic where the concept exhibits a degree of truth between 0 to 1. So it's like a probability thing, isn't it? 0 to 1. If the concept is completely true, a standard logic is 1 and 0 for the completely false concept. But in the fuzzy logic, there is also an intermediate value to which the partially true and partially false also occurs. That is the reason why we say it is a kind of probability. So where the answer ranges from 0 to 1. So based on that, it will take some appropriate decision, and it will the answer will be fed to the system, so that system can act upon. So this is something like that. Okay, fuzzy logic also one of the concept I just wanted to see. Next, the last but not the least, the natural language processing. Okay, the natural language processing depicts the developing methods that assist in communicating with the machines using human language such as English. So this is the best example I can give for NLP or natural language processing is your Google Assistant. So now it is available in Kannada also. It is available in Hindi also. It is available in English also. Because if you say okay Google or hey Google, just to play the Justin Bieber song on YouTube, or if you say something, anything is fine. I'm not just partializing, or anything is fine. If you go for it, it will directly open the YouTube and it will start playing some songs or some videos or some movies or something. Okay, so how it is happening? Whenever whatever you talk, how mobile or smartphone get to know that what you are trying to say? Again, it is because of NLP or natural language processing. NLP is the processing of human language by computer programs. Example includes okay, spam detection by looking at the subject of a line or text of an email and checking it if it is a junk. So they did not go for Google Assistant example. They just gone for spam mail. Okay, sorry, spam mail. So spam mail means, so sometimes you can see in your Gmail also, not in inbox. So you will be having some spam separate category only folder itself. There you will be having a number of mails. So based on the title or based on the from address or sometimes based on the content which is available inside that mail, it will put that particular mail in a junk or junk box or trash, or usually they don't go for trash, they just go for spam folder. Okay, so this is a kind of natural language processing itself, because the machine has to see the English words, it has to understand what exactly the mail is about, whether it is useful or not. If it is not useful, just put that mail to the junk folder or spam folder. Again, it is a kind of processing. Okay, next, NLP tasks are text translation, sentiment analysis, and speech recognition. NLP is used by Twitter to percolate terroristic language from their tweets, by Amazon to interrupt user reviews and enhance user experience. So all these things about, see, sentiment analysis means the system has to see whether the one person is happy or not, or whether the person is angry or not, or whether he is trying to commit suicide or not. So in medical field you can go for, in a psychological field you can build some models like that, whether he has the tendency for the suicidal tendencies or not. All those things the machine has to take care of it. How? By taking the appropriate data of that particular person. Next, text translation. So Google Translate, you have English to Hindi, Hindi to Kannada, Kannada to Urdu, Urdu to Malayalam. So all these things are possible. Okay, again, it is because of this set of programs which we write to make this possible. Next, speech recognition. So if you talk something to your smartphone, hey Google or okay Google, how exactly that get to know, how exactly system get to know that you are trying to open the Google Assistant? Again, it is a speech recognition. It will recognize your words or your way of talking, because whatever I talk or whatever the way I talk, whatever the tone I use, whatever the grammar I use, so it is separate from you, if it is entirely different from yours, isn't it? So the system should not justify whether it is a lady or a gents or a kid or a aged person, everything. But now the system has become more efficient. Okay, they, with the tone variations on frequencies, it will calculate some particular data. It will keep the particular data with itself, and it will see whether it is correct or not. All these things are possible. Next, in your Twitter also, some terroristic activities, if someone is sending the secret codes or any words which are not good for the society, it will detect. And sometimes in Twitter we go for this election concept, who is going to win or who is not going to win. All those concepts will be, that also again a data based on the customer feedback or user feedback or people's general feedback. It will predict something. So all those things are the examples for NLP and the artificial intelligence models. Okay, so all those things are important. Next, Amazon to interpret user reviews. So it will go for in Amazon also, it will ask the review or feedback of a particular item, and it will usually enhance things. And if the person is not that much interested in a particular item, they will sometimes they will automatically reduce the price, so that a customer view can go to that particular item, and the sale may be increased. That also possible. All these are business techniques, isn't it? So you know better than me about business, but the thing I said, because this concepts or the models or the techniques we apply as a human, this computer science people, we write some code and we try to build some model which will take the appropriate things or appropriate decisions or suggestions, or it will go for the appropriate directions also. So these are the some of the major fields, I can say, which involves artificial intelligence. Okay, so for this video this is enough. In the next video we go for some other concepts. So if you have any doubt, you can contact me. That is a separate part of story, but if you understood, it's well and good. So it is a kind of theoretical concept, so you can go for some reference textbooks. Okay, you don't have any prescribed textbook for this subject, so I'm taking some content from all the reference textbooks, small content from every textbooks, and I'm putting all this information on the slide, so that you can understand the thing. In this subject it is better you understand more, so that you can pull out the stories by taking some appropriate headings. Okay, the technical terms are important in this subject. Something like fuzzy logic, natural language processing, machine learning, neural networks, all those are technical terms. The terms are required. After that you can write whatever the things you understood, and you can just pull out so many sentences. That is a part of story. Okay, so all these things are about this video. So let me wind up here, and let the rest of the things I will upload in the next video or upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.